Hello, how's it going? Today, we're talking about a lot of things. The tyranny of the Mogu Empire, an alliance with the Trolls, and finally, we're going to see Lei Shen go after the Forge of Origination, and it's going to be great. So let's go! Lei Shen's empire had expanded, and he soon started regarding all living creatures within his domain as his servants. So, the Thunder King began a campaign of enslavement. First, the Jinyu, who'd started to build an empire of their own. Although the Jinyu fought valiantly, they fell before the might of Lei Shen, and now he has fish slaves. The Jinyu had previously held ties with the Hosen, and both had agreed to help each other against the onslaught. However, the Hosen were jerks who had secretly made a deal with the Thunder King in exchange for preferential treatment. But the joke was on them, because the Mogu eventually just enslaved them as well. Upon learning of the Jinyu's fate, the Pandaren ran away to Kunlai's summit. They sought protection of the August Celestial Zhuan the White Tiger. Lei Shen brought his armies to the foothills and challenged Zhuan to a duel which would decide the fate of the Pandaren. Zhuan accepted, obviously, because he's a good kitty. For many days, the battle between the White Tiger and the Thunder King raged on. In the end though, Zhuan couldn't handle Lei Shen's titan power. He chained Zhuan to the peak of the mount and forced the August Celestial to watch as he enslaved the Pandarans. The other August Celestials rushed to aid Zhuan after his defeat, but they ultimately succumbed to the Thunder King as well. Fearing the Pandarans' philosophies would undermine his rule, the Thunder King banned them from learning to read and write, or even how to speak any language except the Mogu tongue. He'd also banned them from worshipping the August Celestials, but a few fearless slaves secretly carried on the teachings. The Mogu's palaces and monuments were built through the blood, sweat and tears of their subjugated races. The Mogu even forced the slaves to act as soldiers or to expand the fortifications once used to defend the Vale from the Mantid. Thus was born the Serpent's Spine, a massive wall separating the Mogu from the insectoid lands. I guess in Warcraft, the Mantids are supposed to be the Mongolians or something. When existing slaves perished or were no longer efficient, Lei Shen would just shape new ones using the engine of Nalak Shah. This led to the creation of creatures such as the Grummels and the Saurok. I mean, the Saurok seem fairly useful, but look at the Grummel. Look at him. What's he gonna do? Another civilization on Azeroth had noticed the Mogu Empire's activities, and they loved it. The Zandalari, in particular, were interested in the power that the Thunder King wielded. A revered high priest named Zalathra saw a golden opportunity. He took a bunch of trolls with him, journeyed to Lei Shen's domain, and offered a proposition. Let's make each other great, Mom. Bacon sandwich. Lei Shen was intrigued. Obviously both leaders were plotting betrayal. Zalathra believed the Zandalari could steal the Thunder King's power, and Lei Shen was looking forward to having some troll slaves in his empire. But a deal was made. The Zandalari would provide knowledge, the Mogu would train the trolls in the ways of the arcane, and provide them with some fertile lands near the Vale. Lei Shen and Zalathra even made a secret deal amongst themselves. The Thunder King had devised a method to fully revive his spirit if he was ever to be killed. However, the Mogu were power-hungry people, so he didn't exactly trust them to revive him. They'd probably just not revive him and claim the Empire for themselves. The Trolls knew they would never fully learn the secrets of the arcane without Lei Shen, so the Zandalari agreed to hold the key to resurrecting him. Both leaders continued to scheme, but their betrayals would never come to fruition. They found each other to be invaluable allies, and their pact endured for many years. Meanwhile, the Tol'vir in Old Doom was sat feeling pretty cursed fleshy and waiting for Ra to return. Conveniently, they received a summons from a Mogu leader, calling himself the Thunder King. What a stupid name. Completely oblivious to what had been transpiring in the Vale, they dispatched some ambassadors to the east. As they neared Lei Shen's domain, they thought to themselves, bloody hell! They were stunned by how advanced the Mogu had become. Lei Shen warmly greeted the Tol'vir. He gave them a tour of the Great Wall of Serpent Spine and the Imperial Palaces. The Tol'vir were a little bit taken aback by the shameful treatment of the mortal races, but they didn't do anything about it. Their prime concern was protecting the Keeper's machineries in Old Doom. Lei Shen agreed. The works of the Keepers, such as the Forge of Origination, were of the utmost importance, which is why he'd intended to claim them as part of his empire. You what, mate? Lei Shen explained to the Tol'vir that he had in fact defeated Ra-Den and taken his power. Therefore he now held dominion over the Keeper's instruments. And with the engine of Nalak Shah and the Forge of Origination, he could reshape Azeroth as he saw fit. The Tol'vir looked at the Thunder King, realised he was being very serious, and got a little bit angry. They outright refused his offer, expressing that they'd never serve a traitor and that he was a douche, and they stormed out of his empire. Lei Shen allowed them to leave, but warned them that he would be taking what he wanted by force, and that their armies couldn't possibly stand against his. The Thunder King was so confident, he invited Zalathra to bear witness to what he claimed would be the Mogu Empire's greatest victory yet. The Zandalari leader agreed. He was excited about the prospect of the Mogu gaining control of all of the Keeper's works, and unlocking the secrets of immortality. Almost all of the highest ranking Zandalari leaders accompanied Zalathra as an honour guard. Lei Shen led his Mogu host and the trolls to the west. As the full might of Lei Shen's empire trampled the land and approached the monolithic pyramids of Uldum, a small number of Tol'vir emerged. A pathetic number of Tol'vir in Lei Shen's mind, so he laughed at them. However, the Tol'vir were fully aware that defeating the Mogu Empire in battle would be impossible, which is why they'd prepared a final defence, the Forge of Origination. Rather than using it on full power and eradicating all life on Azeroth, they changed the settings so it was just kinda set to defrost and it would only scour the nearby land. Lei Shen led the charge, gloating in his impending victory, but the ground started to shake and a wave of force erupted, bathing the surrounding land in the energies of uncreation. The Tol'vir defenders and nearly every other living creature on the surface of Uldum died, instantly. There were some Tol'vir inside the fortress protected from this. They vowed to never allow anyone to attempt to claim such power, and use magic to shroud the mountain passes that led to the region. In essence, sealing Uldum off from the eyes of mortals. The deaths of Lei Shen and the upper caste of the Zandalari left massive power vacuums in both empires. Lei Shen's body had been recovered before Uldum was shrouded in an illusion and enshrined in the Tomb of Conquerors. However, with most of the Zandalari leadership dead, there was no one to revive him, and that's why you don't put all your eggs in one basket. The Zandalari, too, spent generations attempting to recover from their losses. The catastrophic event struck a mortal blow to both empires. Neither would ever regain their former glory, and ultimately, both would crumble and fall. And we're leaving it there! Originally, I was only going to cover the first part of this story and then move on to Lei Shen's demise on Friday, but this video would have ended up being about 3 minutes long, and that's just not good enough. In the next video we'll be talking about the Pandaren Revolution, so if you want to see the pandas rise up against their Mogu oppressors, click that subscribe button and come back on Friday. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. Also, you can talk to me in the comments. In the interest of providing more content for you guys, what kind of additional stuff would you like to see on the channel? An extra lore video a week, or something else entirely? Let me know. But all that's left to say is, thanks very much for watching, and see ya!